G'day guys, welcome to AMS2. Doing a little bit something different tonight. We're going to do a 30-minute challenge, learn a brand new circuit, try and either set a world record or get as close as we can to it. So we're going to go with Ibarra. It's somewhere I've never ever driven before, in a BMW M8 GTE. So here's the Ibarra circuit. It's in Ecuador. You can see there it's a clockwise circuit. Always like to have a look at a few little key points on the map. You can see there's obviously a big kink there after the first straight. First few corners there look like sort of mid-speed, mid-gear sort of corners, maybe fourth gear, fifth gear. Bit of a twisty bit in the middle, and there's a little bit of a kink there down the bottom of the circuit near the final hairpin. So yeah, good little mix of, looks like some fast corners, little twisty bits. Obviously I reckon the slowest corner, obviously the last corner, maybe second gear. So in the BMW, aiming for about a 117 or 118 lap would be absolutely perfect. Fastest BMW there is an 18.1, so we'll see how close we can get to that. So light up our setup here. We'll just make a few little adjustments. We'll reduce the fuel. Increase those roll bars. That's how I like my cars set up as a general rule. Aero maximum is 8, so we'll leave it at 4, which is the midpoint there, default setup. And we'll go in, have a look at the brake pressure, which is always a little bit too low. We'll crank that up to 100. Bring down that radiator opening because it's only a time trial, it's not worried about the engine. And also reduce the traction control a little bit. We'll come back later and adjust things like tyre pressures and look at the clutch and all that sort of stuff. We're just going a very general sort of setup at the moment, and then get ready to head out on track. So here we go. This obviously is the big hairpin that we saw on the map. Definitely looks like a second gear sort of corner. And here's our first flying laps.
Notice on the map there. Looks fairly flat out.
So it looks pretty flat out on the map, and it is. Yeah, that's probably a bit conservative, but we'll get faster. This one looks a little bit tighter, maybe. No, that's way too slow there. That's probably also about a fifth gear corner, I reckon. This one definitely tightens up. We're starting to get into the twisty bit of the circuit. Just trying to keep our eyes forward to see what corners are coming out. This one's super tight up here. And that's way late on the brakes there. So I'll keep out for eye out for that one. Left hander, just trying to hug those apexes initially. A little bit of an elevation change, a little bit blind over the top there. Can't quite see the apex that left hander. So these are what I expected, sort of second and third gear corners. And again, there's no actual brake markers on the circuit to reference yourself, so it's about picking a curb or a little bit of a surface change or a tree. Here's the chicane before the hairpin. That's probably way too slow, but a bit more aggressive through there. It looks like a really long trail braking zone into the hairpin there. So first flying lap there's a 25.5, so about 8 seconds to make up. So again, yeah, that's just flat out that first corner. And we just roll down the fifth gear for that one again. Feels like there's plenty of wiggle room there to go a bit faster. And that corner there definitely got to stay a bit wider on the lead into that right hander. And again, this corner really sneaks up on you. A bit late again. A bit messy. Definitely got to slow down for that right hander a bit more. Still good first sector, half a second off the world record time. And yeah, that corner there, the radius really tightens as you're making it around the left hander. So it's a great little circuit. So we'll go again. We really like the circuit. Really nice flow. Fast sections, a nice twisty bit in the middle. Car feels really good. Wouldn't change a great deal about terms of how it drives. Just about hitting these apexes correctly. So flat out through the right-hander. We'll try a bit more speed through this right-hander.
Have been doing.
Just a dab of the brakes, that's better. And down here's a surface change on the left there, it's probably your braking zone down here. And it's better that time, just hung it out to the left a bit more before I cut across the apex. Finally get this corner right, can we? Yes, that's a lot better. World record pace on the first sector already after about 3 laps. This middle bit here is all about just keeping the apexes nice and tight. This one definitely tightens up. That was a bit wide there, a bit messy. Compromises your right-hander there, the car gets a bit loose. And this left-hander already is a little bit tricky. Bit of a blind apex, but the corner definitely opens up on the edge there. You can smash the throttle coming out of it. So about a second off in the middle sector at the moment. Way too aggressive through the kink there. There's a bit of a balance there between aggression and keeping in control. So lap time will be better this time, so down to a 1:19.1, so 1.3 off the world record. But there's a second to make up in that middle sector. So look at my speedos now. Yeah, so carrying 240 through there. That's probably about the limit. 240 kph. So we'll try that again.
I don't know if I've changed too much. Set up the cut. I don't know if he.
So definitely just the slow in, fast out through that middle sector to make up that 1 second that we're lacking. Pretty happy with the first and last sector. They're pretty fast and flowing, so not a great deal of time to make up there. So that's good. Yeah, just using a bit of throttle there, not really the brake so much, holding that speed through the fast right-hander. This corner is really tough. You're looking ahead the whole time, looking ahead, eyes forward, and that's a bit too wide. I did get down to the 17s for the sector 1. So the 17.9, so you can see the potential is there for a world record for sure. And that's not a great start to the lap. Ballsing up the hairpin.
We're on the lap before we started there, was it? Yes.
So in this right hand is critical, just dab of the brakes or just off the throttle a little bit. No, way too slow, I got my corners mixed up, thought that we were down to the corner 3 already. Got turn 2 and turn 3 mixed up, so this lap's already ruined. Way off the pace in sector 1, but we'll just try and learn this middle section. Yes, the more laps is always learning. Try and work out which curve we're going to use it as our brake markers. There's no references to this middle section, it's all just visual cues. That little right-hander there, definitely a lot more time to be made up there to be really aggressive coming out of the left-hander into the right-hander. And this one here, just trying to keep it really tight there and then get on the throttle nice and early.
So that's first out lap, so let's try again.
And real good balance there between the aggression and car control through the kink there. Trying to better run onto the front straight this time. Again, TC is quite low, so we're at 4 out of 10. I don't like running too much TC in this game. It seems to kick in way too much and just cost too much time.
Flat out. Tight to the out.
No, too aggressive there again.
Just lay off a little bit, not the second part. Right hand's quite flat out. Right at the hairpin.
So as I said, about a second off in the middle sector, 3/10 off in the last sector. World record pace in sector 1. So still just feeling our way through the limits of what the car can do.
just a little lift there just to stop you going off the side there.
And having a nice late turn in for that big sweeping right-hander. This corner's critical, really get the car slowed down, patience. Not a bad exit there. Again, apex at left hand of the car always kicks out a little bit. Look for your apex here, the corner tightens up. That's a lot better this lap. Again, a little bit conservative through that right hander. Need to get on the throttle a little bit earlier for the right hander. That's looking much better this time. See how our splits are. So world record first sector, and we're about, what's that, a tenth off in the middle sector. So it should be fairly close, be in the ballpark, should be in the 18s. Decent exit out of the hairpin. And that's 1:18.3. So about half a second off the world record. And we're only about, what's that, about 12 minutes into our run of our 30 minutes. So looking good to nab a world record here. Definitely learning each lap, getting just that little bit, pushing it a little bit further each time. But we know the time we need to make out where it is on the circuit. It's definitely through those middle twisty bits and the last left hander leading onto the sort of last back straight. If we nail those couple of those 2 or 3 corners, we'll probably get ourselves the world record here.
Now earlier that right hander.
Good first sector there, 17.9 again. The lock of the brakes, but still hit the apex. That's good there, left-hander nice and tight. Watch our braking point here for the left-hander, which tightens up on itself. That's good, and smash the throttle out of here, come on, stay onto it. That was much better. This is the tricky corner here. That was good, carried some decent speed through there. This should be a good run. So we're up as well in the middle sector. Too slow through the hairpin, that's probably cost us a little bit of time there. Okay, so 18 flat, so about a tenth off the world record. A little bit slow to the right hander, probably 5 or 6 kph off what we needed to be. Bit messy, bit wobbly. Thinking about the world record too much and just pushing it too hard. Probably thinking about little setup changes as well and running it off. Do love the challenge of the time trial, just you versus the leaderboard. Trying to find those extra tenths and hundreds on every lap.
Beautiful track this is. Great for sort of racing, GT style racing. Nice big braking stops the pass is done.
Yeah, definitely a wonderful circuit for this sort of GT racing. You really see some good battles happening here. So nice long flowing sections, and there's tight sections around here. There, any little mistake from another guy, you'd make up plenty of spots. So off on that grass, you're absolutely gone. Grass in AMS2 is very, very slippery. Decent first sector. It's red, but it's still an 18 flat. That corner's key there again. Just scrubbed off too much speed there. Compromise your run up the back straight here. And braking point sort of halfway through the chicane. And then making a very, very long sweeping braking motion all the way through the hairpin.
Too far away.
Another 18.2 there. Good speed there through the right hander. See how the first one is at 17.9 again.
Right hander.
Way too slow there. Again, too busy looking at the delta, which is why I generally don't race with the delta. I've only got it on for the video here. I never race with the delta on, just because I find it very, very off-putting and distracting. Slightly wide there through the left-hander, a bit wobbly through the right-hander. On the power nice and early there though, that was good. Oh, got a bit excited there. I was up on the delta and just turned it around at the hairpin.
A little bit excited there. Definitely up. But hold it.
I haven't quite nailed that last chicane and hairpin section there. So that's the 18 dead completely, 18,000, right on the number. Nice to the right hander, a little bit oversteer, which we expect anyway. Track's very dirty, as you can see. A little bit wide, but still okay. Able to get it on the throttle nice and early. That's run wide there. That's probably compromised the lap.
I reckon just before what do you call it? I think. Little bits on the side of the road, you're not really good.
A little bit wide at the hairpin there.
I think there's a little curve there, a little tricky like thing to try and hit a little bit better.
But that somehow was actually a world record. We did a really great last sector, which made up for the first two sectors.
Thinking about curves, I like driving the car.
So we came back after that unexpected world record lap and just made a few more adjustments to the setup, just to try and see if we could lower our own time. So just change the roll bars a little bit, put the rear downforce down by 1, just close up the brake ducts as well, and reduce the tyre pressures a little bit, just trying to see if we can lower our own record. Not worry about talking during this lap, just trying to go as fast as we can. And here is our current world record lap. So I'll sit back, let you enjoy it, and thanks for watching. So there's a leaderboard on top there, the 117.3. And just going down through the list, see how many guys have tried it. So it's 45 guys at the moment have tried it. So you're welcome to jump on and try and beat that lap. Thanks for watching again, guys.